Origin Unexplained.
Merry Christmas, happy belated Hanukkah, and Habari Gani, happy Kwanzaa. Welcome back to Origin Unexplained. I'm Sue, your host, and today we're going to do something different in lieu of the holiday season, so let's get on with it. On Christmas Eve of 1914, during the first year of World War I, something strange and deeply human happened. British and German soldiers, locked in brutal combat just hours earlier, began singing Christmas carols across the trenches. Then, without orders, they climbed out into the icy no man's land, shook hands, exchanged small gifts, and even played soccer together. It was quite surreal, and not repeated again. Now, moving forward, decades later in 1950, a woman stood on the ledge of a tall building in New York City ready to jump on Christmas Eve. Police tried everything, but she wouldn't move until a stranger walked through the crowd, leaned in, whispered something in her ear, and she simply stepped back. He vanished before anyone could thank him or ask what he said. 2 moments, one in war, one in a city, both marked by something that felt like intervention, like mercy, like something bigger was watching. It's stories like those that make Christmas feel different, like a crack opens in the ordinary, just for a little while, right? In 1982, a man in Denver collapsed from a heart attack on Christmas morning alone in his apartment, unable to call for help. A neighbor he barely knew suddenly felt an urge to knock on his door, saying later that she just had a feeling. She found him unconscious, barely alive, and called an ambulance in time to save his life. In rural Georgia, a family trapped by an icy storm had no heat and no way to get help. Just after midnight on Christmas Eve, a man in an old truck appeared with a full barrel of heating oil. He wouldn't give his name. He simply said, "No one should be cold tonight." He delivered the oil and drove away. The company he named had no record of any delivery in that area, and the truck was never seen again. In 1982 in Washington State, a family was driving home late on Christmas Eve when their car slid off on an icy road into a ravine. It was cold, dark, and the car was hidden by trees, so no one saw them go off the road. They were trapped for hours. Then, just before dawn, a man in a tan coat knocked on the window and told them help was coming and disappeared into the woods. Minutes later, a search and rescue team found them. When asked who called for help, the rescuers said no one had. They were responding to a different call and happened to take a wrong turn down that stretch of the road. The man in the tan coat, well, he was never found and never identified, and no footprints were seen in the snow. In December 1986, an Eastern Airlines flight crashed into the Potomac River shortly after takeoff from Washington, D.C., just days before Christmas. One passenger, later identified as Erlen Williams Jr., repeatedly passed a rescue rope to others instead of saving himself. Each time the helicopter returned, he was still there until he wasn't. He drowned before help could reach him again. 6 people survived because he chose them over himself. His actions were widely reported, verified, and described by rescuers as profoundly unsettling in his calm selflessness, especially given the timing so close to Christmas. In 1994 in Colorado, a woman suffering from late-stage hypothermia was found wandering barefoot on Christmas morning. She was disoriented and barely alive after being missing overnight. Paramedics declared her clinically dead twice en route to the hospital. No pulse and no respiration. After prolonged resuscitation, she revived fully with no brain damage and no explanation that fit medical expectations. Doctors involved later referred to the survival as statistically impossible, especially given the exposure time and temperature. In 2001, at a hospital in Michigan, a long-term coma patient unexpectedly regained consciousness on Christmas Eve after nearly 7 years. Nurses reported no neurological changes leading up to it. He asked what year it was, then asked for his daughter by name, someone he should not have been able to recognize. Within weeks, he was speaking coherently. The case was reviewed internally because it defied every projected outcome in his file. In 2010, a homeless man in London returned a handbag containing cash and personal documents on Christmas Day instead of keeping it. The woman it belonged to had no idea where she had lost it and had already accepted that it was gone. She later tracked him down and discovered he'd slept outside in freezing temperatures that night. The story drew attention when it was revealed that the man had turned down reward money, saying, "Christmas isn't for taking." During Hanukkah in 1973, during the Yom Kippur War, an Israeli army unit was stranded without enough oil to light their menorah in a remote outpost. They lit up what little oil they had had, expecting it to burn for only one night, but somehow it lasted 8 full nights, just like the original Hanukkah miracle from ancient times. The soldiers, they were stunned and emotional and believed it was a sign of protection during the war. The event was quietly documented among their reports and has been passed down as a modern-day Hanukkah miracle. In 2018 in Northern California, a wildfire evacuation led to a family being separated in chaos on Christmas Eve. Phones were dead, roads were closed. 12 hours later, at a closed gas station used as a temporary refuge, every family member arrived independently within minutes of each other, each having been told separately and incorrectly that the others were already there. Emergency responders logged the convergence as a coincidence, but admitted it strained probability. So guys, these aren't sentimental tales, they are interrupted moments where logic stutters and something else, it briefly steps in. As we come to a close of this, it feels right to step back from the strange and the unexplainable and remember what ties these moments together. Human decency, sacrifice, and rare pauses in life where something greater seems to surface. Whether you celebrate Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, the winter solstice, or simply the turning of the year itself, this season carries a quiet reminder that compassion still shows up when it's least expected. So wherever you are and however you observe it, may you find warmth, peace, and a moment of calm in the days ahead. I wish you a Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, and a meaningful Kwanzaa, and a safe, hopeful New Year.